Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. I'm Sarah. I'm married to Mark. We have 8 kids at home. You're going to see running in and out of the house. And our oldest at home is 17. Our youngest at home is 18 weeks, 19 weeks, something like that. So anyway, we have been doing a pantry challenge. And so we're going to be doing a video today, cooking from the pantry, something that you can make on the challenge. I'm not exactly sure what week. I will look that up. But what we are making for lunch, it's actually the last week 17. And what we're making for lunch is some hash browns and some scrambled eggs. It's going to be super easy, but it's not really a recipe that I'm showing you because I think most people know how to do this. But what I wanted to show you is my cheese grater. So this is a cheese grater I got off of Amazon, and it's great because when you crank it, it just does all the work for you. It's really, really easy. It comes with this little top that you can push the cheese down. But we buy the big 2-pound blocks of cheese. On the challenge, you would have only bought the 8-ounce one, but this would work for the 8-ounce one. I have trouble with my hands, and so holding a block of cheese and trying to grate it is really hard because my hands are really weak. So we bought this cheese grater, and it has made all the difference. You can also do carrots with it. You can do cabbage because there's other blades. Let me grab the other blades. They're behind me somewhere.
They're called Napa cabbage.
So it's got these little ones. You'll see that they're orange because we do carrots with this a lot. There's this one that would be like you could do like a potato and get like a crinkly potato. We've never used that one actually. This one, we can shred, like we can do cabbage with that, like if we're doing stir fry, or you could do cheese slices with that. So sometimes we'll do a bunch of cheese slices and then we can make like grilled cheese sandwiches and stuff.
Yeah.
And then here's another one that would be thicker than that one I showed you with the carrots. But you can do like zucchini. We did a bunch of summer squash last summer. This is our second one. The first one broke. Well, the first one is kind of broken. I'll show you the first model I got. And I'll show you the difference between the two. Okay, this is the first model I got. And it doesn't, the handle is broken. So I will show you. Ugh, I'm gonna try to show you. I'm gonna try. I use 2 hands. As I said, I have weak hands, so this really isn't that hard to do. If you can see in here, this part is broken. So it was starting to end its life. So this was the first one we got. If you put this in here, it goes like that. And then you hook this on. There's a little hole to hook it onto. And it works pretty well, except the handle doesn't always stay latched, and then therefore it broke. Poor design. It wasn't us, it was poor design. So this one that we have, I will show you. The handle is sturdier, and the handle screws on with this piece right here. So it's not just a push button. It actually has a screw. I'll show you. I'm trying to get the cheese out. But I don't usually have to unscrew this because it's all together when I get it. But this is the handle piece. And it actually has like a screw in there that screws into the back of here. So it's just a much better design. It doesn't break. It doesn't seem like it will break the same way as the other one. So yes, this is a cooking video, not much cooking. I just wanted to show you this. I think you can get it for about $20 on Amazon, and it definitely saves a lot of time if you're someone who makes stir fries, if you're preserving produce from the garden. So you're gonna like do zucchini or summer squash or those types of things. Shredded carrots, like carrot discs, if you're gonna make like cooked carrots. We probably use this thing at least 1 time a day. And so it's definitely been worth its price. So we will be back in a little bit when I make the rest of the food. Oh, all I've done so far, and I didn't even do this, is we took the bag of frozen hash browns that we had bought in the video, sorry, and we put them in the oven. So they're cooking. I set them at 425. Not exactly sure how long those are gonna take, but I had some other prep work to do. So that's what's going on around here. Okay, so I'm gonna do a chatty video while I crack eggs. So you're gonna hear egg cracking over here. I just realized I need somewhere to put my eggs. I'm gonna grab the trash can. Not grab the trash can, bring the trash can over. Okay. So anyway, we are trying to make these videos ahead of time. So this video is going to be filmed now, but it won't air for multiple weeks. So if you're one of our subscribers, you get to see it now. Hi. But some of the stuff I mentioned might be old news by the time you see this. I am busy today trying to reorganize getting the clothes changed from our summer stuff to our fall stuff, which really doesn't change much because we don't have an abundance of clothes for each child. Not that we couldn't have an abundance of clothes. We have money, we could go get more clothes. But where we lived in a camper for so long, throughout our different years of marriage, we have never kept a huge amount of clothes per child. And the kids, even without trying to keep everything small, they still always get more clothes than I know where the clothes are coming from. So we actually don't tend to purchase a lot of clothing because we have a lot of clothes that are given to us or has been saved from children that we've already had. This egg is really hard. Okay, children we've previously had. So we have bins of clothes down in the basement. And if we have clothes that are still good enough, they go down there. But like today, we went to look through the 6 to 8 bin. We have it labeled by sizes. So I told my son to go down and get the 6 to 8 bin. And when he went down to get it, there were no pants in the 6 to 8 bin. Probably because all of our kids recently that have been in the 6 to 8 size are boys. And if you're a boy mama, you know that boy pants, they're rough and tumble. Some of my boys are more rough and tumble than others. But the one boy who is like at the top of that 8 size, he's very rough and tumble. It's Uriah, if you've watched our channel. He is very much a sensory seeker, and he is always just like for fun, crawling around on the ground, throwing himself on the ground, just being wild and crazy. So there are not a lot of pants left to give to the younger boys. But I found everything I needed. We don't tend to change things with the seasons because we have so few clothes. I tend to keep all the long sleeve and short sleeve shirts in the bin, whether it's summer or winter time. So I don't have like, here we have to go get the winter clothes out, but I tend to take the change in seasons to check who has what clothes and do we need to replace clothes. Of course I do it other times in the year of like, oh, I suddenly noticed that this child has grown out of their pants, or all the clothes that you wear are holy. And sometimes you have to figure out if that's because that's their favorite pair and so they keep grabbing it when it comes out of the wash, or is it really that all of their clothes now have holes in them? Because we have certain kids that have favorite outfits. So if you watch our channel and you see certain children wearing the same outfits over and over, it's not because that's all the clothes they have, it's because that's the clothes they want to wear. Sorry, my egg is fighting with me. And so when it comes season change, or like right now, you're gonna see this way after, but we're going on a trip here in a couple weeks and we'll be gone away from home for a few weeks. So I wanted to make sure that everyone has the clothes they need to get there. Because once we're there, we have laundry, and here at the house, we have laundry, which makes it that we don't need as many clothes, but we will have 3 days on the road. Luckily, the friends we're staying with, on our way also will let us do laundry at their house. So it works out fine. But with little ones who sometimes have accidents and that type of thing, it's just, you just have to make plans. Plan for the unexpected. So we went through clothes this morning. That took a little while. I found everything that I needed. There were some clothes that, like the last little boy that was in the pants Uriah is going into, was a lot skinnier than Uriah. Uriah is by no means fat. We just had a very skinny one. Josiah, if you've seen Josiah, he's pretty skinny. And so those pants, the little like elastics inside were really buckled up.
I need to pause this video, Mommy.
Okay, I'm back. She needed me because she was holding the baby. She was gone this morning at therapy, and so I was trying to do all the clothing change and everything with the baby, and by the time she got home, the baby was grumpy. So she's snuggling the baby for me, and then he decided that he wanted to pee through his clothes, so she needed assistance. If you haven't watched our videos before, we do not have older children change the younger ones' diapers unless it's like mommy is not home, which we don't leave the kids home with big sister to watch them unless it has to do with a necessary medical appointment. Like if we have a doctor's appointment, trying to explain, like usually I would take the baby with me to the doctor's appointment. And so she wouldn't be left to change anybody's diapers. But like if I go to the hospital to have another baby, she was left with the other ones for, I don't know, how long were you here?
Virginia and Wayland were here.
Yeah, Virginia and Wayland were here too, but like we left at like 4 or 5 and we were gone all night. So she had to change a couple diapers in that time. But Virginia was here too. She's the other older sister. She was the one in charge last time when I had a baby. So I teach them before we go how to change diapers and stuff. And then shortly after, sometime in the last couple months, she had to watch the other kids, which we still have a 2-year-old in diapers. And she had to watch them because Josiah broke his elbow, and just how the course of the day was running, there was no way to take all of them to the hospital for the x-ray because, I'm making a mess. Hold on. The doctor's office wanted him to get an x-ray at a certain time, and we had a 2-year-old who was sleeping. So we needed someone to be home with a 2-year-old. So Mark came with me to do the x-ray so that we could keep the baby out of the room, but the baby could still be there. But if you haven't watched our channel before, Mark has a neurological condition. He can't drive, so I had to go. So all of that to say, I had to go change a diaper. So what I did to these eggs, I put 24 eggs in a bowl. I mixed them up, and then I added about a cup of water. Water will make your eggs light and fluffy. Milk will do the same, but we're trying to do this on the budget, on the challenge that you already have. So that's what we did. I have the pan going because I'm going to cook these, scramble these eggs, so I will take you over there. Okay, so I'm gonna cook my eggs now. I had a hot pan. I put butter on it. It got a little too hot because we went in the other room and we realized the boys' room was dirty. So Naomi and I cleaned up a couple things. I have the eggs that I scrambled and mixed water in. We're gonna pour it in the pan. See, my butter got a little hot. It's still gonna taste fine. So one thing that people do when they make scrambled eggs, that used to be a mistake that I would make, is stirring the eggs too often. If you stir the eggs too often, they stick to the bottom of the pan, and then it's hard to clean your pan. If you have cast iron, especially if you have an old, like your grandma's old cast iron, things don't stick as much. I have these ones, which I've had for, I don't know, probably this one for 10-ish years, my other one for maybe 8 years. I cook in them really often, but I'm not really good about keeping up cleaning them and all of that stuff. Not cleaning them, I clean them often, but like greasing them. So things will tend to stick. So what I tend to do is put the eggs on when the pan is nice and hot. So after it gets hot, then put on the oil or grease or whatever. I used butter, which you have in this challenge, and then I pour the eggs on and I let them sit for probably a minute. I don't know if you can see here, but I will show you. When I stir them, you should be able to get up, the brown is from the butter, but you should be able to get up like a chunk when you mix it. A lot of times, if you don't wait for that to come, it still sticks on the bottom. So anyway, now we're gonna wait approximately 2 more minutes and then we'll mix again. I have them on 3 out of 10 on my stove. My stove runs a little hot, so if you've watched before, my stove runs a little hot, my oven runs a little cool. That's how it is. So anyway, on the challenge, I didn't put a lot of things that make full meals because in the challenge, a lot of the times you're going to have other things that you need to use up, and the ingredients from your pantry are to make it a complete meal, not that your pantry is the complete meal. Even though you will see on here, there are times that I've made full meals with just the pantry ingredients. But this is this is going to be the last video I do for our pantry challenge series, or one of the last videos, because we have now purchased everything. So I want to keep the pantry challenge going, however you want to say it. And so if you have something in your cupboard that you don't know how to use, or you want to see me make a meal out of the stuff that I already have, feel free to leave a comment in this video and just say, if I had a pound of hamburger, what would you make out of the pound of hamburger plus only the things in the pantry? And I will make some videos on those. Maybe it's some weird thing that you have access to that maybe other people don't. I will tell you that I'm not going to go buy super special ingredients for this. I love to try new foods and stuff, but like my family doesn't eat eggplant. Just the couple times we've tried it, we haven't really enjoyed it. And I don't have eggplant locally that's easy to get. So if you ask about eggplant, I won't really have suggestions for you. But for a lot of things I do. Also, my family doesn't do seafood. So if you're saying, hey, you have a can of tuna, which most people should have in their pantry because it's probably a very good thing to have in your pantry to help. But that's not what I have. So it's been about 2 minutes. I'm going to stir these again. I'll show you. And I tried to go to a different side of the pan. You see? Coming up really nice from the bottom. I'm not saying there will be no eggs stuck to the bottom, but it will be a lot less because I waited. And when I do this, you can either turn the pan or turn your hand and try to go this way one time and then try to go this way the next time and then maybe from a different direction. So you're getting all the egg off the bottom. Talking about having extra things to put in here. If you have a little bit of leftover deli meat, so let's say you had some sandwiches or something, you have a little extra turkey or ham or something like that, you can throw that into the eggs. If you have some extra sausage from something, even if it's like Italian sausage, that would be good in the eggs. Leftover like black beans and taco meat is really good in eggs. And then we're gonna eat our eggs with those hash browns that I made. I'll show you those when they're done. But another thing you can do with these that you have from the pantry challenge is putting these eggs on tortillas. My family really likes to do that. We call them egg tacos. And you just put the egg on the tortilla with a little bit of cheese. You can throw on some salsa or any type of Mexican toppers you have. I don't know why someone's upset outside. Another thing that we sometimes do with eggs, talking about leftovers and stuff, is you can make pizza eggs. So if you have leftover pizza, cut it into little bite-sized chunks. Scramble your eggs up, put the pizza in the eggs and let it sit for a few minutes. And then make them just like you would scrambled eggs. And you have bites of pizza and the Italian flavor and the cheese and everything. It's really good. So it uses up, either if you have pizza that's kind of dried out, or if you have leftover pizza that you're like, I don't want to eat leftover pizza again. It's a great way to use it. Okay, we're gonna stir again. See nice big chunks of egg coming up. If you ask my friend Rebecca, this is the way you're supposed to do it so you don't leave the pan dirty for other people, right, Naomi? Anyway, what else can we chat about? It's been fun doing this pantry challenge. These are all things that are good for me to keep in the house because they're all things that do make a meal when I need one. I've been trying to make recipes during this time. You're gonna watch this video in multiple weeks, but I'm gonna make a video today that's going to make cornbread muffins that go in the pantry challenge. That'll come up before this one. And it's nice to know that you always have stuff. So we're doing chili for supper because we have friends coming over. And just from the stuff that's purchased in the pantry challenge by now, when this video is made, I have beans, I have tomatoes, I have the chili powder and the garlic powder and the onion powder and all of those things to make the chili. I'm going to, in my chili, throw in extra stuff that I have because I have some carrots, I have some cabbage I could throw in if I chose to. I'm not really sure because I don't really know exactly what the friends that we're having tonight like. I will throw in some onions and peppers. That's also been on the pantry challenge. I bought those so you can do the onions and peppers. And then the only thing that I purchased specifically to make the chili that wasn't already in my pantry, the only thing I purchased is I purchased some ground turkey. Ground turkey, you can find chubs of ground turkey at Walmart for $1.98 a pound. And so I will be putting that in the chili. And then everything that I need to make the cornbread muffins that I'm making tonight have been purchased on the challenge. And so we have friends that are coming over. They asked what they could what they could what they could bring, and we told them to bring a salad or fresh veggies, and I have all the other stuff already here at home, so it worked out really well. So anyway, we're gonna stir these again. Whoa! Okay, so don't let them fall over onto your stove. That's not how you do things, but I always make messes, so that's how it is. We're still scraping around. If you can catch a glimpse under where I'm scraping, you can see that it's pretty clean on the bottom. I don't have nonstick in my house, but if you have nonstick, do not use metal spatulas on it. It'll bust off the coating. But if you have cast iron, you're welcome to use metal spatulas. Do you need me to take a baby? I'm gonna take a baby. We will be back. Okay, I'm back. I had to go take the baby. Big sister, who handed me the baby, she stirred the potatoes for me, but we're gonna stir the eggs one more time. So like I said, try to go from different angles. Don't try to throw them over the side like I've been trying to do. And what you're trying to do is scrape up what's already cooked and let the raw egg fly down to the bottom. Not fly, sink down to the bottom. I'm not using very good terminology. Once you get to this stage, you are gonna have to mix a little more regularly, but as you can see, it's not stuck to the bottom. So yeah, I'm just gonna mix these up and call the family in a few minutes. You'll notice when the eggs are, when I call them in, our eggs are gonna be really dry. That's how my family prefers them. They like their eggs really dry. They feel like they're not cooked if they're wet at all. But if you go to like a restaurant or whatever, like, let me show you. This part over here, if you can see, there's like liquid. That part is still uncooked. But like these eggs here are totally fine to eat. Those are a fine cookedness. And I'm actually, because it's a cast iron pan which holds its heat, and it's sitting on an electric burner which holds its heat, I'm going to actually turn this off. And the heat that's left in the pan is going to cook them the rest of the way. So that way I won't burn the bottoms. I'm not as likely to burn the bottoms. I can do anything. I'm really good at burning things, really good at spilling things. I'm really good at forgetting I have stuff in the oven. We made some sourdough crackers the other day. Forgot they were in the oven. They got a little burnt. Totally my fault. Kids still liked them, but I do make sourdough. I'm not making sourdough on this challenge because I'm fairly new to sourdough, and I would be afraid I'm not giving you the right instructions, the wrong proportions and things, just because I'm still fairly new to trying it out. But my daughter, Virginia, who you've seen on some of my videos, she's getting really good at sourdough. And if you live in the Tennessee area, they're near Knoxville, she has been making, by the time you see this, she might even have a little business open, because that's what she's hoping to do, is make some sourdough stuff in her spare time. All that spare time she has with a newborn baby. So anyway, now my eggs are just about done. So if you see those eggs there, I'm gonna go grab the cheese. I'm gonna go grab the cheese, and I'm just going to sprinkle cheese on top of these. And you have to remember, I am making this for a large family. If you are a single person, you definitely do not need a pan of eggs this large. Hold on, baby. Baby's a little fussy because he wants to eat too. So there, I'm gonna let that melt. Just sitting there on the heat on the pan. And I'm gonna call everybody in. If you are a single person, most people would eat 2, 3, maybe 4 eggs, depending on how hungry you are. If you're pregnant, would eat that many eggs in a breakfast. A lot of people think eggs are like super rich in protein, which they do have protein in them, but they are don't have as much protein as like meat would. But every egg has about 6 grams of protein, and cheese has protein also. So if you're not on a super high protein diet, this is a very good protein filled meal. But if you're not, that's fine too. My kids are going to have fruit on the side of this. So if you're doing the pantry challenge, you could do the applesauce cups that we got. You could do the pineapple that we got, the canned pineapple. But we're not going to do that. We have, if you see behind me at that table, we have a big bowl on the table, and we have bananas in there. So I'm going to give bananas to those who want bananas, and I'm going to give applesauce to those who want applesauce. Might even find, actually I might give them some food from the freezer because I've got some berries and stuff in the freezer, and I want to leave more of our canned goods and shelf stable foods here while we go on this trip. Again, I'm doing this before our big trip, and so just if the freezers happen, like power happens to go out while we're gone, I'm not losing more things. So I'm probably gonna grab some stuff from the freezer and let them eat the fresh bananas with this food. What we're gonna do is we're going to put potatoes on the side. So the potatoes have just been in the oven getting hot and getting crispy. I don't even know if they're really gonna crisp because of how the potatoes are cut, but these potatoes have peppers and onions in them. So we're just gonna do a scoop of that on the side, and then we'll do eggs. People can put them together or eat them separately, whichever they want to do. I'm letting people put salt and pepper on their own, but you could have put salt and pepper right in the eggs, and you could have even done garlic powder, onion powder, the different spices that you have in your cabinet. Are you hungry, baby? You could have done that on the peppers too, but I wanted each person to do their own. A lot of people in my family, I'm gonna get it, like this, which is Creole seasoning, and you use it like you would salt, so just spread it on until it has the saltiness that you want. But this is kind of spicy, and I have some people in my family who don't like spice. So instead of seasoning here at on the stove, I let them put their own at the table, and some will just do salt and pepper. So you will see the picture of this in the video description, or like the thumbnail, and we will see you guys next time on Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God.